There was another moment in the episode where she was like, Bitcoin might be Bitcoin, but like, what can I do with it? Can I use it? Can I turn it into other things? How do I use it? And we were like, yeah. So anyways, there's a new block every 10 minutes. We suck. We suck.
Yeah.
Dude, that's probably our worst performance to date.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sat Chats Rehash, the Bitcoin podcast where we chatting about sats. We're going to be going over number 50, Mark, number 51, Pallavi, and number 52, Paula. I'm your host today, Stuart Bitcoin Maxi, who wears prescription sunglasses to protect you and your loved ones from my Bitcoin laser eyes.
And I'm your co-host, Chris, founder, CEO of Ithaca Hummus, Bitcoin smash buyer. Please stop what you're doing and smash the subscribe button. I was going to say smash buy Bitcoin. Do that. But also smash the subscribe button on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
We're on our way to giving away 1 million sats.
Yep.
You got to be part of the first 1,000 subscribers in order to be entered for that. And we're also going to launch a live Friday show once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So help us get there and help us as we march towards number 99, Kristen the Beloved.
Yep.
So I told
her that the Beloved and all that.
It's locked in.
Yeah.
It is cemented. It's been inscribed into the world tree, as you would say.
Yes, I love that.
It is now Kristen the Beloved.
Yeah. And you saw her sign her number last night, dude. I loved that.
Did she say Beloved on it?
No, but she put number 99.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
To me, that indicates more acceptance and more readiness to do the show.
Dude, we just got to move.
That was huge for me, dude.
You just have to move the ball down the field a little bit each day.
Yeah.
All you got to do.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I don't know if I've been moving that ball down the field recently.
No, that's okay. You don't have to do it every day.
Yeah.
But over a period of time, you want to be able to look back and be like, most days, I took a step forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to figure out that Mother's Day. Trying to get ripped on that. Because that's coming up, dude.
What are you thinking?
Well, what do you
usually do?
I don't know because I don't actively record memories.
All right. Well, what are you thinking to do?
I'm thinking what I'd like to do is I'd like to hit both of us with a spa day plus an overnight stay at the Umstead.
That's a good
Get that 15 star.
Yeah.
Do a spa day plus a restaurant plus an overnight stay.
That's a good move.
But then I'm like, well, isn't Mother's Day about being with your kids? And then I'm like, well, actually, from my experience, it seems like Father's Day is about the dad getting kid time, and Mother's Day is about the mom getting a break from her kids. Like, I feel like that's the general theme. Not necessarily in my family only, but like in the culture. What do you say?
Well, I think it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
It depends on who you ask.
I mean, what do you want to do on Dad's Day? Do you want to be
Father's Day?
I'm going to go golf by myself with the boys? Or are you like, dude, I want to take the kids to a bouncy house.
Yeah.
I want to knock them around, throw them around, rough house.
Mom, it's the one day for you to not have a say in what we do with the kids.
Oh.
It's my day.
Dad's
it's Father's Day
today. We about to eat whatever we want. We about to do whatever we want.
Cake, cookies.
We're going to stay up.
Charles is going to be they're going to be doing push-up races with each other. I'm going to be like standing up like, go.
I like that, dude.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, like a summer camp day.
What are you thinking about doing for Anne, though?
Well, see, the problem is because I get flowers every Wednesday for her.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm dollar cost averaging all the time.
Right.
But
this is your dry powder moment, though. This is where she comes home and the whole house is like, boom.
It could.
There's like 27 bouquets.
I could, but
everywhere.
No. I mean, for sure. But let me tell you something. It was our anniversary last week. I loosely remembered. Happened to fall on a Wednesday. Guess what I went to go do?
Yeah.
I had flowers.
It's built in.
The
love for your wife is built into your weekly routine. That's where we need to be.
Just saying. All right. Are we gonna get in? I like chatting. I do like chatting.
These are the vibes, man.
Yeah.
It's really good. Because we were like, Three takeaways.
I know.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. You know.
And by the
we're
way,
chatting about sats. We're not.
Yeah.
We're
chatting about
cleaning
the
up our side of the
show.
street's really important. But the rest is all just juicy.
Chatting about us, chatting about the hosts, because we're part of the show.
This is kind of like backstage for the Satillionaires.
Yeah.
Where we can kind of let it loose it and get it loose.
Let's officially recognize we're evolving in that direction.
Yeah. The rehashes.
You're right. We were like the three takeaway.
We were shaping the rehashes in Chappie's image.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Let's get it back to
It's us. It's us. All right. So, and by the way, let us know in the comments if we're open to thoughts, suggestions. We think this is a good one, though.
Yeah. So, number 50 mark. Okay. Let me jog your. Let me see. I want to see if the thumbnail copy and the episode title jog your memory. Okay. Or I guess before you even look at it, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember Mark.
Okay. Then I don't need to, because I love my own writing.
Yeah.
Which at least I do now. I used to hate it.
Yeah. Well, it's probably better than it used to be.
Yeah. Featuring English words spelled correctly means it's better than it used to be.
New and improved. Yeah.
So what do you remember about number 50 mark, or what do you remember about how you feel about number 50 mark?
Well, I felt like this dude is like a Renaissance man. Like he could be like a stunt double, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense for you. I don't know why I got that vibe.
What?
I think it's Southern California, like good looking dude in shape. Like he could be doing some really badass like jujitsu. I think he does do jujitsu.
Or was that number 34 Lawrence?
Well, Lawrence definitely does.
He definitely.
He's actually like a legit like OG up in Chicago. I've seen some posts and they're like, damn,
dude,
there's so much legendary in this room right now.
He could hurt us.
Yeah. Anyway, and I've followed along with Mark actually. I think I log into Sat Chats Instagram sometimes.
Yeah.
And Sat Chats follows Mark, and he's traveling a lot.
Oh.
He's like all over the place in Asia and doing all sorts of cool stuff out there. So
that's crazy.
So but he was basically tokenizing the world, right? Like, how do we tokenize real estate? And the concept of tokenization actually clicked a little bit more for me on the episode, because I realize now that it's just fractionalizing. It's just fractional ownership. That's all tokenization. Well, I think that's the most predominant use case right now. I'll say that. I don't know if that's all it's good for. But that's
like tokenizing real estate.
No.
Is the primary function?
No. I don't know if tokenization has other functions besides fractionalizing things like assets.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other features and benefits to tokenization that I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
But I can make a very clear connection after that episode to fractionalizing ownership, like a timeshare.
Yeah.
Or a,
It's digital divisibility of real world items.
Of things that otherwise don't break up easily.
Yeah, because we've talked about on the show, hey, what's good money? Part of what's good money is divisibility. And we know that Bitcoin is really wonderfully divisible into 100 million sats per Bitcoin. But can you divide up a house and say, yes, you own 4 square feet of this home? That would be a mess to track in the real world, and to attempt, and you would never be able to make an independent decision.
Well,
I'm ready to sell my 4 square feet, so y'all better sell the whole house too.
Well, to be fair, that does already exist, and it's called fractional ownership or a timeshare. Like there are ways to do that,
and to an extent, like you build 100 condo unit, and the smallest part is one of those condos. You could have 100 owners,
correct?
Right?
Yeah,
but digitally, it tidies it up. It makes it eminently clear you own 4 square feet of this home. You can buy and sell or trade the tokens. Like,
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm not, I mean, I'm just going to buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin's better, but it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And maybe as a curio, like I'd love to own digitally a piece of the Washington National State. Oh, maybe I can get some digital ownership of the Black Forest.
Yeah. That's a great way to think about it.
Can we tokenize the Black Forest?
So let's talk about a real world example for a second.
Okay.
So let's say you are the current owner of the Black Forest, and that's probably Germany.
Yes.
Okay. And Germany decides that, hey, the Black Forest is great. We love it. It was way better 50 years ago. And so we need to spend like $2 billion here to make it that way again and preserve it.
Ooh.
We don't have $2 billion.
Oh my gosh.
But we could create a token and now go out, and it's almost like you can invest in that, right? I will invest in that. And then wait a second, it's going to be done in 10 years, right? And the ticket prices are going to go from $50 to $100, right? Well, this is a value added project that I want to put my capital to work against, because I believe in the mission, and I believe that I'll also see it's a good place to store my money because it'll return value.
Also, I think in the case of the Black Forest, I would be stacking trees, I'd be stacking digital acres. And hopefully by owning the token that corresponds, my hope is that it would correspond to a literal piece of the Black Forest.
Probably.
Not just like it's like a big soup.
You could.
Because I'd love to be able to say, they say, well, we, one way that we want to get more money out of the Black Forest is we want to develop on top of it. And I say,
yeah,
not where my tokens are.
Well, you could say
these 3 acres are sovereign, and you can't build on top of them because I own them.
Here's something else cool that you could do. All right, you're the Black Forest, and you've determined that we need to cut back our forestry by 20%. If you're a stakeholder in the Black Forest somehow, we could tokenize each of the trees, and you could vote with your tokens which ones, and from a consensus basis make that decision.
That is so gross, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
Can we come up with a couple more things that would be cool to tokenize? Because tokenizing the Black Forest, I would actually, every single scrap of fiat I have is going to Bitcoin, but the Black Forest is important enough to me to where like 9% of my total Bitcoin spend, I would actually siphon and buy. I would start stacking the black. Stack the black, dude. Stack the black.
I'll put 1,000 on black.
Yeah. So what other, because it is a cool idea, and I do think that it works so long as you're doing it in a decentralized way. I would hate for somebody to say, oh yeah, you're buying a piece of the Black Forest, and then they pull the rug out from underneath you. Psych. This is the FTX of tokenization. Yeah. So I think, and Mark talked about DeFi, decentralized finance.
Yep.
And Bitcoin has a place in the future of decentralized finance because it's a decentralized money.
Bitcoin's the cornerstone of all decentralized finance that will come after it.
Right.
It's the cornerstone.
I think where I'm at in my head is like, well, do I need to go past the cornerstone?
Not right.
Not to build generational wealth.
Yeah. It depends who you're asking.
Simple.
It depends what your motivation is.
Yeah.
Is it purely, is it purely what it is now, or do you have other interests that you want to fund in addition to what you're trying to accomplish now with your money?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So you can go way past it.
Yeah.
But real quick, give me some other ideas of like cool stuff to tokenize here. Can you think of anything that would be cool to tokenize?
Again,
cool or useful?
Again, this episode was like the first time that some new things clicked for me. So it's not like I've been sitting around thinking about this.
Yeah.
I could, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Do you I mean, you could tokenize real estate. Like, could I own a piece of Big Thunder Mountain at the Magic Kingdom?
Why? I don't see why not.
That would be dope.
If let's say they wanted to renovate it, they didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah, I really like your concept of we'll sell you a digital piece of this real world thing in order to raise capital and improve the item.
Yeah.
That I guess to an extent, that's almost like
It's a smart
the
contract.
collateralization of where you know, hey, here's my Bitcoin. I'm going to pull money out of it to go back into it.
Yeah, and it's like the idea of a smart contract, right? Like I can be very targeted with what I'm allowing my funding to be used for,
Mm-hmm.
and in exchange, I can receive back a set of property rights
Mm-hmm.
that I have to this. What does this token give me the right to do? It's not just about an investment. It's maybe I want to invest in this because I think there's a return, and as one of the rights that they're offering in exchange, I also get to go to the front of the line every time.
That would be. I was literally thinking that, like, every time I show up to Big Thunder, they're like, "Oh, you're the guy that owns the stick of dynamite on that one, or you're the one that owns the bones that hang over on that one turn." I'm like, I am. Like, okay, come over. You can go. You can go. Yeah.
So
that would be gross.
That's what decentralized finance does.
That's so
like,
nasty.
could you ever do that through a bank? Maybe in like 1,000 years they could figure it out. That's not what they do. It's not their business.
No.
So it's dude.
And I guess then it just comes down to, does this token give me simple ownership of, or does this token give me voting rights for? So somebody might say, yeah, you can get a piece of Big Thunder Mountain, but you have no say in what we do with it. You're just getting a piece of it, and that's cool. Or you're getting a piece of it, and you get to decide.
Well, that's
as a group whether we upgrade this, whether we do that.
Yeah, it's like how shares are classified in a company. You have
voting versus
preferred shares. You have non-voting. You have So yeah, and you would have a different coin for each of those groups.
So we need like a token for this slat, a token for this slat.
We could tokenize Sat Chats.
Tokenize Sat Chats.
We're not even gonna freaking go there though, because that's where you get into the meme. Like this whole thing is like a spectrum. You know, it's like tokenize Sat. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So you're gonna sell little shares.
Sat Chats is Bitcoin only. Sat Chats is sovereign. You can't actually.
Well, also we're 2 months old. Nobody wants to enter into a contractual relationship with, as charming as you are. Okay, I don't think there's anyone out there who's ready to enter into a contractual relationship with us. Besides Ithaca Hummus, and soon a couple Bitcoin companies that we're going to be announcing soon.
Hey. Y'all put it in the comments, Satillionaires. If you want to buy a token.
No, don't even answer that, because I don't even know that I want to sell them. But tell us how we would do it, though.
That would be cool. Yeah.
What could we even tokenize?
Do it? Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I need more information. I think we both do.
Yeah, but you're right. Because you could. At what point do you slip from, okay, Bitcoin is Bitcoin, to, hey, decentralized finance is legitimate, to, meme coin, crypto casino, NFTs, wrecked myself.
Yeah.
Yikes. Let me go back to just stacking sats.
You want to tokenize this room right here? You want to tokenize this wall right here? Or just this board right there?
Because then if you bought a couple of slats in a row, you could tell us to like put a wrap on it that like creates something. Because so for example, in the early days of the internet, there was some dude and he made the $1 million webpage. Remember this?
No.
This dude, this guy was a genius. He was like a high schooler. Early days of the internet, talking about like, you've got mail. And we're like, yeah. And like, I'm like, what's a cool handle for my AOL Instant Messenger? I'm like, dude, I gotta have a really cool away message.
Stewie Louie 6969, 100%.
Yeah, dude. So in the early days of the internet, this guy made a web page, and the web page, it was a blank page, and it was divided into 1 million pixels.
Okay.
And for you to grab a pixel, it was $1.
Nice.
So what happened? Companies would buy enough pixels in a row to put like the McDonald's golden arch. And so McDonald's, maybe they bought 1,000 pixels so that it was big enough on the page.
That's genius.
Right? And when he was done selling every pixel, he had $1 million.
That's genius.
Right? So
yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So let's clean up Mark's episode real quick.
Well, yeah.
Because that's plenty of time talking about him.
Yeah. Luckily this is short. So
But did he have any? He had some cool AI stuff too, by the way, y'all.
Go listen to it.
There was some cool AI stuff.
If you're
in
interested, we don't have to tell him about the whole dang thing.
No. No. Okay. So Mark, and we really don't. We actually don't have a lot to clean up for these 3 episodes.
All right,
which
good.
Is nice.
Go ahead.
Because Pallavi's, she's clean. So Mark talked about how Bitcoin is not hackable.
Not hackable.
Bitcoin's code is law.
Yeah.
Talked about code as law. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think for a one world government in our 3 futures of Bitcoin, code must become law, basically, so that everyone knows what the law is and nobody can mess with it. You know,
cold, ice cold, baby.
Ice cold.
Cold is code.
So, and he's right. He's right. Chappie's saying he's right. But she keeps wanting us to make this distinction over and over again.
Great.
And it's a good distinction.
Yeah.
And her distinction is the protocol itself has never been hacked, but exchanges, custodians, and poorly secured wallets have. This is worth flagging so that newcomers don't equate Bitcoin with custodial platforms.
See, I think that right there should be a t-shirt. The protocol has never been hacked, but exchanges, custodians, and poorly secured wallets have.
Uh-huh.
Like a big old, like that would be actually pretty sick.
Yeah, that is hot.
Like
that
a
is
little
hot.
quote on the back.
See, you weren't too hyped on our store idea because you're like, we don't need no t-shirts, but we have a ton of good t-shirt ideas already.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have to use the Airtable and let ChatGPT get in there and come up with a couple concepts for us.
But we already have some off the top of their head. For example, nation state paper, Dad.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
Nation state paper, Dad. Nation state paper, Dad. I'll say as many times as I want.
So, okay. So let's set a goal. Maybe we don't have to make it official.
We have to get to those watch hours, Sat Tillionaires.
Ooh.
Right. So we've reached the number of subscribers required for a store. We've reached the number of videos uploaded for a store. We need some watch hours up in her.
Yeah.
We need them because we way back there, bro. We were ticking up and then YouTube reclassified how it works and we took a hit. And so we took so we're back down.
What? We lost?
We were above 1,000 watch hours, but then wait. We're going to reclassify how that works.
I think, isn't it you need 4,000 in 90 days?
No.
Oh,
no.
4,000
It's
lifetime?
in the past 365.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you need I don't know. We need more watch hours, y'all. Watch the show.
That's all you need to know.
Watch the show or just kind of let us keep you company. Okay. But then we could unlock a store.
Yeah.
And you could have t-shirts. One of them, nation state paper, Dad. One of them would be number 62, Jeff. Coffee money today, car money tomorrow. Whew. Right? Which is a play on what we were already thinking of doing, which is pocket money today, generational wealth tomorrow. Right?
Ooh,
But
let's make up our own.
Well, the one that I made up was pocket money today, generational wealth tomorrow.
I like the pocket money part.
Yeah.
Pocket money today.
Yeah. Rocket money tomorrow.
Damn.
Yeah, boy.
That would be sick.
Ooh, another planet.
Yeah.
Another planet, dude.
Yep.
So we have a couple of ideas out there. But that I really like that Chappie is she is gently reminding us that if it's not your keys, it's not your cheese, right? When you buy Bitcoin like number 12 Jack and you leave it with the exchange,
that ain't your cheese.
You don't control it the same way that you control it when it's in your wallet, right?
Yeah.
It's like buying Ithaca hummus and putting it in someone else's fridge. Okay. Hopefully it's there when you want to go get it and crunch into it. But what if it's not?
To be fair, I do that a lot. I probably do that more than anybody else.
Chris is putting Ithaca hummus in so many fridges that are not his.
Not mine.
He's holding the world record.
Yeah.
All right.
About to
so
start calling me Sancho.
So so that's a little piece of cleanup from Mark's episode. And basically the idea is, look, man, Bitcoin isn't hackable, but places where you store it are. So make sure you have make sure you take Bitcoin into your own hands and make sure that it's secure.
Okay.
So this one's going to be a hard one to talk about. Number 51, Pallavi.
The one that got away, man.
I mean, we failed her. We failed her because And I was reviewing the tape and I was like, I could see it. And I was like, oh my God, we failed this lady. Because here comes this lady. She's a mompreneur, entrepreneurista, and she's no joke. She's taking some dadgum like palm leaves.
Yeah.
And she's like heat pressing them into disposable plates and bowls.
Now,
and
to
things.
be her company does this. She's not doing it personally, but her company is doing this at a pretty decent scale.
She's 7 figures.
Yeah.
She's 7 figures.
Yes.
I think her company is.
Yes.
She may or may not be. I don't know. But she ain't no joke. I mean, technically, she probably is if she owns a company.
So I got to the end of this episode.
Okay.
I had to pee so bad. She did not take the Sats. And then after the episode kind of comes to the end, I didn't, neither one of us felt it. We didn't feel good at the end of that. We were like, we knew something was wrong.
Something was not right.
For me, it was like that picture that you always send me, like the Scooby-Doo guy, like pulling the
Fred unmasks the ghost and it's Fred.
It's Fred.
Yeah, because we created our own problems on that episode. We did. Something happened to where we had a morning meeting. Something blew my CNS.
Yeah.
To where I couldn't grip down on the conversation.
Your central nervous system?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were like, she was talking this way and we were talking that way. And we didn't meet her, right? Because she was talking over and over about how she wants to live her life now.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't really put much store behind a form of money that lasts into the future.
That's going to give her future value. She's not thinking
She's
about
not into that. And she even said it, dude. Oh, this one makes me so angry with us and really with me, because she mentioned in her story that she was all locked into Detox, her company, and COVID knocked her out of that and made her realize that her family and memories with her family and living right now is better than corporate success or even lasting wealth. She wants to live her life right now. And we skipped right over that. And there was another moment in the episode where she was like, Bitcoin might be Bitcoin, but like, what can I do with it? Can I use it? Can I turn it into other things? How do I use it? And we were like, yeah. So anyways, there's a new block every 10 minutes. We sucked. We sucked.
Yeah.
Dude, that's probably our worst performance to date.
Yeah.
Because if we had met her where she was and said, hey, look, you're a successful person. You prioritize your family, trips with your family. You want to know what you can do with this Bitcoin right now. You know what? You want to know what you can do with Bitcoin right now?
Yeah.
Any old thing you want.
Yeah.
Any old thing you want.
Yeah.
Okay. You can convert it into any currency worldwide, wherever you're traveling, and buy whatever you want. And it's way better than your US dollars because your US dollars are melting away. Bitcoin is not. Okay. So all you got to do, smash all your money into Bitcoin and then Simple Steve credit card it up and then 12 times a year. Boom. Like, she needed to know that Bitcoin was something that she could use right now. She didn't need to hold on to it with sacred, reverential, like her mom's golden jewelry that came from her great grandmother.
She didn't want that anymore.
She could grab the Bitcoin now. She could sell it later. She could convert it. She could pop. She needed to know that it was a tool for right now, and we did not do that.
It's almost as if she resented the long-term stores of value because it locked the value away from her ancestors, right? It didn't allow them to enjoy their moments as much as they could have, and she doesn't want that for her and her kids.
We needed to attack Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, and we were all store of value that whole episode.
Yeah.
So is there anything to clean up? So number one, Pallavi, we are so sorry.
Yeah.
When you come back on in 9 months, we're gonna show you that Bitcoin is a tool for you to use right now to do the things that you want to do.
You know what we should do? if our people who don't take the sats, their second episode, we should fly to them.
Whoa.
We need to boot up and show up, suit up, and walk in there, kick that door down, and take care of business.
Yeah, dude, that is some like Terminator level conviction, and I'm a huge fan of it, because that would send us to, oh, you know who I'll fly to go see in person? Oh my God,
all five of them. I know you would.
Yes,
all five.
But you know whose door I would literally kick down in anger and be like, oh, we about to sit down today, boy.
The first one.
Number 9, Paul, dude.
Number 9, Paul.
I'm gonna come get you.
Because you thought we were going to 100.
Oh, yeah. I will come get you, Paul. I'm gonna come take a baseball bat to all his screens and be like, get this on my face.
Well, the thing is with Paul, like once we flip him, he'll become like, he'll be as passionate about what he's doing now about Bitcoin, and that'll be a good thing for Bitcoin.
He is a Bitcoiner.
Yeah,
he's a Bitcoiner who still thinks cash is king, and it eats him alive.
I know. Yeah. All
right. I love that idea. So, Pallavi, we love you. We are sorry. We'll come see you.
100%.
Now, we did have the redemption, though. We did have the redemption immediately afterward with number 52, Paula. We had the redemption right after, because that was the episode where she was saying some stuff.
She was beating me up a little bit. She threw a couple punches.
Yeah.
And she was about to have me on the floor just blasting me. And then you stepped in and you're like, wait a second, hold on. Give Chris a little bit of a break. He's not firing today. And you stepped in and took over. I was like, oh. I was like, give me some water.
Yeah. Well, what I did too is when she was done with her like initial salvo, I stopped and was like, let me stop. Let me rephrase what you just said so that I can understand where you are. Because I need to know where you are, because we didn't go to where Pallavi was.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me figure out where you are. And I think if I can remember, Paula felt like she felt like Bitcoin were Hot Wheels for boys.
Yeah, your little toys or whatever. Yeah. Oh, and, boy's toy. Here we go.
Yep, Mama Bear money. Why does Bitcoin feel like a boy's toy? And by the way, we had the most beautiful comment from a lady who said, I can identify with Paula because I felt like Bitcoin was a boy's thing. And once I looked into it, because I was like, this might be risky, I realized the only risk is not having Bitcoin. And I was like, bless you, lady in the comments.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me get her name actually real quick for this episode, because she was an absolute Chad here. Let me see what she says here. Let's see here. Okay. At Jeanette2475. I love this. I'm a therapist and a single woman, no kids yet, and I also used to be scared of finances like a lot of women are. But I did the deep dive research on the future of currency, and now I know the bigger risk is not having it. But how did we meet her? How did we meet her where she was? And then get her on board? Because I can't quite remember how we did it. We talked about what? How did we get her to see?
It was 100% you, and you talked about how you were just $50 a week. You kind of gave her the humbleness that she was not clearly getting from me, because she was responding to me like, look, not all of us like have time to sit down and read a book, like, which is valid.
And she was like, plus, are you going to make money off of recommending this to me?
Yeah.
She was like
skeptical. Yes.
Yeah. But we minimized the risk. We were like, look, for $50 a month.
Yeah.
Over a 5-year period, you could have 6 figures.
And
just put in a little bit. And she's like, I can put in a little bit.
We took her from that to, all right, I'll stack my first sats.
Yes.
Watch it. I mean, it's a great little, because it had some ups and downs. Like I said, I was feeling like, ooh. Yeah. Oh. and you kind of come in and
she was an attacker too.
Yeah.
Because she would come over the last 9 seconds or whatever you were saying to like hit you the next thing. And you try to answer that and she again. Yeah. And she had like the black turtleneck or whatever.
I'm getting faded here. I'm getting Stuart, help me.
The trick is to be able to take any amount of pain.
Yeah, true.
Right? Because I took as many blows as you did. I just like, yes, again.
Yeah, you did.
Because I have a death wish.
Yeah.
I was like, kill me on this show.
Yeah,
and when I'm not dead, you'll realize.
You had to pull her back in. She was like, she was feeling something.
Yeah.
And then you were able to diminish that in your focus there. But
so let's clean her up real quick so that we can meet your goal here. She was talking about how people tap to pay Bitcoin already all over China. That is not correct.
Yeah.
Mainland China, it says here, mainland China bans crypto payment processing. Way to wreck yourself. Tap to pay Bitcoin exists, for example, Lightning, but it's not available in China.
Might want to rethink that one.
Hong Kong has limited pilots only.
Yeah. Okay.
How can China have a CBDC and one currency for inside and one currency for outside?
I don't care.
If they're going to let Bitcoin be good, they have to mess with it.
Whatever.
We also talked about how e-transfer means Canada already has a national Bitcoin payment rail. So that was me. There's this thing in Canada where like the federal government maintains like an electronic system of payment that we don't do here in America. Mm-hmm. And Bitcoin Well for Canadians has the ability to take an electronic payment along the federal government's rails right to them, and then they send you Bitcoin. And that's what I was referring to. But Chappie wants to clarify that the Interac e-transfer is a fiat banking network. It doesn't handle Bitcoin. Users must still convert to and from the Canadian dollar through an exchange. So what I was really saying was that Canadians can use that Interac e-transfer network to interact directly with Bitcoin Well.
All right. Sounds good.
So that was number 50, Mark, with who felt like Bitcoin and decentralized finance was going to give us king level abilities in the future.
Okay.
King level abilities with like AI robots working for us and stuff. And then we had Pallavi absolutely wrecked ourselves, who was number 51.
Yep.
And then number 52, Paula, who's a single mom, and she figured out that Bitcoin is Bitcoin and she wants some. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Sat Chats Rehash. You can support our show 3 ways. Zap us your sats on the Lightning Network, satchats@getalby.com. Send us your on-chain Bitcoin. The address is in the show notes. And we have our very first donation of on-chain Bitcoin.
Oh, that's right.
Came from number 18, Dad. He donated some of his sats back to us.
Thanks, Dad.
What a Chad. And you can sign up to come on the show, right? Because we shoot these rehashes when we don't have someone in the studio. So this could have been your slot.
Yeah.
Satchats.com. There's one button there.
And you can subscribe, and the watch hour thing we talked about earlier. Let's not forget about that.
Million Sats giveaway, live show, 999 plus 1, road to 99, all that stuff.
Okay? All right.
We got a lot of stuff going on. We need your help to achieve all of it. Sat Chats Rehash is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice. Also, Chappie's views are her own. We'll see you tomorrow.